Title: Christmas Under the Sea. Chapter 1: The Discovery. It was Christmas Day, December 25th, 2024, and the world was celebrating in their own unique ways. But deep beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, something extraordinary was happening. A group of giant Pacific Rim alien kaiju monsters, each with their own unique name and abilities, had gathered at an underwater portal to celebrate the holiday. The first to arrive was Goliath, a massive creature with scales as black as night and glowing red eyes. He was followed by Leviathan, a serpent-like monster with razor-sharp teeth and a venomous bite. Next came Behemoth, a towering beast with thick, armored skin and the strength of 100 men. As the monsters gathered around the portal, they began to exchange gifts and share stories of their adventures throughout the year. Goliath presented Leviathan with a rare pearl he had found deep in the ocean, while Behemoth gave Goliath a piece of driftwood he had carved into a beautiful sculpture. The monsters laughed and joked, their deep, rumbling voices echoing through the water. They were a fearsome sight to behold, but on this night, they were filled with joy and camaraderie. Chapter 2: The Feast. As the sun began to set on the ocean floor, the monsters prepared a feast fit for kings. Leviathan used his sharp teeth to catch fish and squid, while Behemoth used his immense strength to gather seaweed and other underwater plants. Goliath used his fiery breath to cook the food, creating a delicious aroma that filled the water around them. The monsters feasted on their bounty, sharing stories and laughter as they ate. Suddenly, a group of smaller sea creatures swam up to the monsters, carrying gifts of their own. The monsters were touched by the gesture and welcomed the creatures to join them in their celebration. Chapter 3: The Dance. As the night wore on, the monsters began to feel the holiday spirit coursing through them. They started to dance and sing, their massive bodies swaying to the rhythm of the ocean currents. The creatures around them joined in, creating a spectacle of color and movement that lit up the dark depths of the sea. The monsters laughed and twirled, their voices blending together in a harmonious chorus. As the night drew to a close, the monsters bid farewell to their new friends and made their way back to their respective homes. But as they swam away, they knew that they would always have this special memory of celebrating Christmas under the sea. And so, the giant Pacific Rim alien kaiju monsters with different names continued to roam the depths of the ocean, their bond stronger than ever before. And on every Christmas day, they would gather once again at the underwater portal to celebrate the holiday in their own unique way. Select to speak. Title: Christmas Under the Sea. Chapter 1: The Discovery. It was Christmas Day, December 25th, 2024, and the world was celebrating in their own unique ways. But deep beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, something extraordinary was happening. A group of giant Pacific Rim alien kaiju monsters, each with their own unique name and abilities, had gathered together to celebrate the holiday in their own special way. As the sun set on the ocean floor, the creatures began to glow with a soft, bioluminescent light. Their massive forms moved gracefully through the water, their scales shimmering in the dim light. The largest of the group, a towering creature known as Leviathan, let out a deep, rumbling roar that echoed through the depths. "Welcome, my friends," Leviathan boomed, his voice carrying through the water. "Tonight, we celebrate the spirit of Christmas together." The other kaiju monsters, including the agile seraphim, the fiery phoenix, and the mysterious shadow, all nodded in agreement. They had come from all corners of the Pacific Rim, drawn together by a shared sense of camaraderie and a desire to celebrate the holiday in their own unique way. As the creatures gathered around a massive underwater portal, they began to exchange gifts. Seraphim presented Leviathan with a shimmering pearl from the depths of the ocean, while Phoenix gifted Shadow with a rare crystal that glowed with an otherworldly light. The kaiju monsters laughed and chatted as they exchanged gifts, their voices echoing through the water. They shared stories of their adventures and battles, of the challenges they had faced and the victories they had won. And as they did, a sense of peace and unity settled over the group, binding them together in a bond that transcended their differences. Chapter 2: The Feast. As the night wore on, the kaiju monsters gathered around a massive table laden with an array of delicious underwater delicacies. Leviathan had prepared a feast fit for kings, with seaweed salads, giant clams, and schools of fish cooked to perfection. The creatures dug in eagerly, their massive jaws tearing into the food with gusto. They laughed and joked as they ate, their voices mingling with the sound of the ocean currents. It was a joyous occasion, a celebration of friendship and unity that transcended language and species. As the feast drew to a close, Leviathan stood and raised a toast to his friends. "To us," he boomed, his voice echoing through the water. "To the bonds that unite us, and the adventures that await us in the year to come." The other kaiju monsters raised their glasses in agreement, their eyes shining with a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. They knew that the world above was a dangerous and unpredictable place, but as long as they had each other, they could face any challenge that came their way. And so, as the night drew to a close and the creatures began to drift off to sleep, a sense of peace settled over the underwater portal. The kaiju monsters, with their different names and abilities, had come together to celebrate Christmas in their own unique way, forging bonds that would last a lifetime. As the sun rose on the horizon, casting a warm glow over the ocean floor, the creatures stirred from their slumber. They knew that the world above was waiting for them, with all its challenges and adventures. But as they swam off into the depths of the Pacific Ocean, they did so with a sense of unity and purpose that would carry them through whatever lay ahead. And so, the giant Pacific Rim alien kaiju monsters, with their different names and abilities, continued on their journey, bound together by the spirit of Christmas and the bonds of friendship that had been forged in the depths of the ocean. Title: Christmas Under the Sea. Chapter 1: The Discovery. It was Christmas Day, December 25th, 2024, and the world was celebrating in their own unique ways. But deep beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, something extraordinary was happening. A group of giant Pacific Rim alien kaiju monsters, each with their own unique name and abilities, had gathered together to celebrate the holiday in their own special way. As the sun's rays filtered down through the water, illuminating the colorful coral reefs and schools of fish, the kaiju monsters swam towards a mysterious underwater portal that had appeared out of nowhere. They had never seen anything like it before, but they were drawn to it by an irresistible force. One by one, the kaiju monsters entered the portal, disappearing into its shimmering depths. Inside, they found themselves in a vast underwater cavern, filled with glowing crystals and strange, otherworldly plants. And in the center of it all, a giant Christmas tree stood, adorned with shimmering lights and ornaments. The kaiju monsters gasped in awe at the sight, their eyes wide with wonder. They had never seen anything so beautiful before, and they couldn't help but feel a sense of joy and peace wash over them. Chapter 2: The Celebration. As the kaiju monsters explored the cavern, they discovered that it was filled with all sorts of Christmas decorations and treats. There were candy canes hanging from the walls, gingerbread houses scattered about, and even a table piled high with delicious holiday feasts. The monsters wasted no time in diving into the festivities. They danced around the Christmas tree, their massive bodies swaying to the music of the ocean currents. They feasted on the delicious treats, savoring the flavors of the holiday season. And they exchanged gifts, each one giving the other a token of their friendship and goodwill. But as the celebration continued, a sense of unease began to creep into the hearts of the kaiju monsters. They knew that their presence in the underwater portal was a secret that must be kept from the humans above. If they were discovered, it could spell disaster for both worlds. Chapter 3: The Decision. As the kaiju monsters debated what to do, a sudden commotion broke out outside the cavern. The sound of engines and shouting filled the water, and the monsters knew that they had been discovered. Without hesitation, they made a decision. They would close the portal behind them, sealing themselves off from the human world forever. It was a difficult choice, but one that they knew was necessary to protect both themselves and the humans above. With a heavy heart, the kaiju monsters swam towards the portal, their massive bodies blocking the entrance. As they did, the portal began to shimmer and fade, until it disappeared completely, leaving no trace of its existence behind. And as the last of the kaiju monsters swam away, they knew that they had made the right choice. They had celebrated Christmas in their own unique way, and now they could return to their own world, safe and sound. The end. Title: Christmas Under the Sea. Chapter 1: The Discovery. It was Christmas Day, December 25th, 2024, and the world was celebrating in their own unique ways. But deep beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, something extraordinary was happening. A group of giant Pacific Rim alien kaiju monsters, each with their own unique name and abilities, had gathered together to celebrate the holiday in their own special way. As the sun's rays filtered down through the water, illuminating the colorful coral reefs and schools of fish, the kaiju monsters swam towards a mysterious underwater portal that had appeared out of nowhere. They had never seen anything like it before, but they were drawn to it by an irresistible force. One by one, the kaiju monsters entered the portal, disappearing into its shimmering depths. Inside, they found themselves in a vast underwater cavern, filled with glowing crystals and strange, otherworldly plants. And in the center of it all, a giant Christmas tree stood, adorned with shimmering lights and ornaments. The kaiju monsters gasped in awe at the sight before them. They had never seen anything so beautiful in all their lives. And as they looked around, they realized that they were not alone. Other creatures, both familiar and strange, had gathered to celebrate Christmas with them. Chapter 2: The Celebration. As the kaiju monsters mingled with the other creatures, exchanging greetings and gifts, a sense of peace and joy filled the cavern. The air was filled with laughter and music, as the creatures danced and sang in celebration of the holiday. One of the kaiju monsters, a massive creature with glowing blue scales and razor-sharp claws, approached a group of smaller creatures huddled around a fire. They were singing a beautiful song, their voices harmonizing in perfect unity. "What is this song you sing?" the kaiju monster asked, his voice rumbling like thunder. The creatures looked up at him, their eyes wide with wonder. "It is a song of hope and joy," one of them replied. "We sing it every year to celebrate the spirit of Christmas." The kaiju monster nodded, his heart swelling with emotion. He had never experienced anything like this before, and he was grateful to be a part of it. As the night wore on, he joined in the singing and dancing, feeling a sense of belonging that he had never felt before. Chapter 3: The Revelation. As the celebration continued, a sense of peace settled over the cavern. The kaiju monsters and the other creatures had put aside their differences and come together in unity and friendship. They had discovered that, despite their differences, they were all connected by a common bond of love and compassion. And as they gazed up at the giant Christmas tree, its lights twinkling in the darkness, they realized that the true spirit of Christmas was not about presents or decorations, but about coming together in love and harmony. As the night drew to a close, the kaiju monsters bid farewell to their new friends, promising to return next year to celebrate Christmas once again. And as they swam back through the portal, back to their own world, they carried with them the memory of that magical night, and the knowledge that, no matter where they were, they would always be connected by the spirit of Christmas. And so, as the sun rose over the Pacific Ocean on December 26, 2024, the world above continued to celebrate Christmas in their own way. But deep beneath the surface, in the mysterious underwater cavern, the kaiju monsters and their new friends continued to celebrate in their own unique way, united in love and friendship. The end.